Hello, I'm Ms. Lumley of Finextra, and today I'm speaking to Jamie Rodgers of CGI, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the market trends and the business and IT implications affecting the insurance market. So, I'm going to start off with kind of the big question. What are some of the market trends that you're seeing in insurance right at the moment?
Well, I think as we look across the insurance landscape globally, we're at a very exciting inflection point, potentially the most exciting time in the history of insurance. And it's really a combination of a number of things coming together. Technological capabilities and some of the forces that are being unleashed by the internet, but also the success that leading insurers around the world are having, improving their own internal operations as a result of the financial crisis that we've been going through for the last 5 years. So all of these things coming together are suggesting that insurance companies are starting to think very strategically about what the future looks like and what they need to look like themselves in order to be successful.
I mean, you mentioned the internet, which is affecting all industries, not just insurance, and of course the fallout from the financial crisis that we've all been looking at over the past few years. Mm-hmm. But what are really some of the business implications of some of these trends?
What we're looking at is a trend towards the Internet of Everything. Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, things of value are being added to the Internet of Everything. And those things of value require insurance. And those things of value that are being added to the Internet have the ability to communicate in real time information about the risk that they're currently experiencing. So automobiles, for example, are being equipped with telematics devices that communicate how the vehicle is being operated at the time. And that has tremendous implications for business. How do I deal with real-time risk information and adjust my understanding of the risk in real time? How can I add value to that deeper relationship, that more frequent touch point that I'm having with my insurance customer? It's fundamentally changing the way insurance companies are thinking about themselves in the future. And the trend of adding things to the internet will only continue. So smart homes, smart buildings, smart clothing, electronic textiles will all have the ability to communicate information about the risk that they're experiencing at the time. But of course that all implies massive amounts of new data. And so insurance companies need to think about organizationally how they're going to deal with that data. They need people who are specialists in data. They need technologies that can handle volumes of data. And they need tools to make sense of all that data.
So, I mean, you mentioned data, and since this is the insurance market, you made the example of with automobiles and seeing how they're being operated. Maybe I'm assuming at the time of a crash. So, how is this data collected? I mean, is this people's personal data? Is this something that's offered? I mean, how is the insurance business dealing with the different levels of permissions with this data?
Yeah, the jury is still somewhat out when it comes to ownership of the data. Auto manufacturers would very much like to own the data, which presents an interesting strategic threat to insurance companies. Who better to understand the risk that a vehicle is experiencing than the manufacturer of the vehicle that's embedded telematics capabilities in it? There are those that suggest that the data is owned by the individual who owns the vehicle and is driving it at the time. The insurance industry would be very interested in owning the data, and there are a number of examples of usage-based insurance products out there where consent is obtained from the policyholder to use the data in a number of different ways. So that's going to be an interesting fight over the next few years, I think, to come to conclusions about really who owns the data and is it indeed private.
What are some of the IT implications of these trends then?
I think these trends are all demanding that insurance companies have the ability to be innovative, have the ability to be flexible, and have the ability to pursue the business strategies that are required in order to be successful in this new world. IT cannot stand in the way of that. And so we're seeing the implication being the need for simplification in the IT environment. And that's not unique to insurance. Other pillars of the financial services industry and other industries in general are all pursuing simplification. And simplification can be achieved in a number of different ways by the replacement of old legacy systems with new off-the-shelf solutions. And there's some very good ones out there. It can be achieved through working with trusted partners to outsource complex legacy IT environments to those that are very good at managing, complex environments, and therefore allowing the insurance company to have the focus to pursue their strategic objectives. Also, from an IT point of view, the implication is that the technology to handle data will be required. Data stores, data processing capabilities, predictive analytics tools to make sense of this massive amount of data. Another important IT implication. And finally, an IT implication is mobile apps and the ability to deal with staff and customers in a mobile way is table stakes. It's a must. But not only that, there's a requirement, we believe, for the implementation of open architectures to allow systems to connect with partners, suppliers, competitors, and consumers alike. To enable the pursuit of flexible business strategies.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.